All right. What is up, folks? It's your man Jay, and Tuesdays we're back. Um, no stream last Tuesday. I know we were going to go every Tuesday, but had business, so no stream last Tuesday. But we are back here. It's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and we are streaming today with some topics that go along with what's happening right now. So. Shout out to everybody in the chat already. I appreciate you stopping by. I need to put these glasses back on. Stop acting like I can see. Everything went blurry. I appreciate you guys stopping by. We are going to chat for a little bit. We're going to try to discuss some things that are current day conversation, I guess I'll say. Current day conversation. So, what's going on, Anthony? What's up? How was your last 2 or 3 weeks?
It was good. I went on vacation and with the family, had a great time, had a relaxing time. It's good to be back safe, but yeah, I wish I was still on vacay, back to work, and just good to be back here again. 2 weeks not streaming right when I was getting used to it. There I go. So it's good to be back.
Yeah. It's good to do. I miss doing the live streams, man. Shout out to everybody that's joining the stream. I see you guys. Media by mail. I see you. Everybody that's on Twitter watching, I appreciate you. I went on ahead and incorporated the Twitter people into the feed so people can stop asking, well, where's that person at? So you should be able to see, I think it's showing for people on the live stream, you'll be able to see the Twitter comments and the YouTube comments. You should be able to see both of them. Just my camera here a little bit. Yeah, you'll be able to see the Twitter feed and the comments from YouTube as well. You should be able to. I think I did that right. It's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, should be able to see both feeds popping up. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, you can see the Twitter feed and you can see the YouTube feed. So I like to leave that up so people can see exactly where they're watching at. This is being streamed on YouTube and it's being streamed on Twitter, which is basically what was it called? I forgot what it was called. Periscope. Yeah, Periscope. So before we get going, we got some topics we're going to be talking about. So question, man, who is it somebody that Hawks TV, I see you, what's going on? Who is it somebody, Night Tech, I see y'all guys on there. Who is somebody that you'd want to stream with that you've never streamed with?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Who would I like to stream with that I've never streamed with?
Yeah, just a casual stream. They don't have to be like some radical, just another YouTuber who you've watched a lot or know of and you just never streamed with them.
I really don't know, man. I actually would like to stream with Juan Bagnell.
Okay.
I would like to have a few minutes on a show with him just to, but actually I've really never really thought too much about that question. But yeah now that you're asking,
I just thought about it and I saw someone liked my tweet a little while ago and I thought, yeah, I'd love to stream with that person. It's Drew Lips. And I'd like to stream with Drew Lips, and I'd like to stream with Michael Peppertech. Those two guys, they pretty much would bring a new neutral. Now, Drew Lips, I believe he streams a lot on some other channel, but I think Drew Lips would bring a new, fresh approach to, because he kind of, if you've never seen Drew Lips' channel, he's a neutral reviewer. He doesn't kind of pick sides. He reviews everything like I do, and everybody has their favorites and stuff like that. But Drew Lips is kind of a neutral playing field. He's that outfielder who has a good percentage out there.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought of that.
I'll check his channel out. I'll check his channle out.
You don't know who Drew Lips is?
No.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the good thing about YouTube, man. You in social media, you get to find out somebody new to watch all the time,
Yeah, no, that's
I know you know who awesome. Michael Peppertech is. Michael Peppertech is normally in some of my... Oh, he's in the stream right now. I didn't even see this guy. I was about to say he's normally in the stream.
He said, let's make it happen. He wants it to happen.
I was watching one of his streams the other night. I was watching one of his streams on the replay. And yeah, I think Drew Lips and would bring a neutral. Drew is a neutral guy. He's kind of a neutral playing field. And Michael Peppertech, everybody knows who he is. Never got on a stream with these guys. I think for like a really good serious stream. But yeah, that would be cool. So anyway, we got some topics. We've got some topics. And first question I want to ask to the stream, if you're catching this live, and I already know, Anthony, I know you have it, but is there anybody out there that did like me and bought both the Z Flip and the Z Fold 3, or do you just have the Z Flip? Who has the Z Flip that's in this stream? I saw someone said they're watching from their Z Flip. Anybody have the Z Flip in this particular stream? Because we're going to cover some things about this. I just finished working on my, I called it 72 hours, but I think I've had this longer than 3 days. I don't know. I've definitely had it more than 3 days, I believe, but I was working on my follow-up, and it's a pretty lengthy one. I'll premiere that one later, but wanted to know who has the Z Flip 3 in here, because I want to get that conversation out of the way. I'm kind of tired of talking about it. Yes. Okay. So some people purchase both like me. Yep. People, you have, so a lot of people do. Yep. Good. So I asked that because the reason I asked that is because I know this is the more popular device. Now, if you look on social media, you might see some people saying, oh, the Z Flips, don't get that. It's trash. The Fold is the better one. Well, it's not about the Fold being the better device. It's about, this is a more logical phone or device for people to carry. Anyone can carry this. Anyone can't carry the Z Fold 3 because that is a big phone. I bought it. So in comparison, this is the more realistic, more logical choice for most consumers. It is. The Z Flip 3, from what I could see, even the one thing that I called my biggest flaw with this device, just one thing, I'll discuss that at another point, but this device, and I bought the other Z Flips too. I didn't buy the 2, I bought the 1. So I paid that $1,500 for that one and sold it and took an L. However, I think it's crazy that people are saying to avoid this device and still trying to get consumers to spend $2,000 on a phone. This device is within more people's reach, which is why Samsung put it at $999. And they offered trade-ins and credits and all this other stuff. So this is a more realistic flip phone for the majority of people. The majority of the world is going to get a recommend. I've been kind of preaching about this one before it even came out. Once I saw the price, this is more realistic for a person who wants a flip phone. Yeah, this is just way more realistic.
Agreed,
the Z Fold has more surface to damage. I mean, what do you think about that? I think the Z Fold 3 has more surface to damage. It's just more stuff that can go wrong with the Z Fold 3 than it can with the Z Flip 3. My screen is protected right now, and I got a nice case on it. So if I drop this, I don't think it would be too quick to break. But I mean, what do you think about it? And we're going to tackle some of these comments right here.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but I think just because you can fold it up and it's a little bit small, it's just, for me, what I like is I can put my whole hand around. And I don't got big hands, but when I'm walking with this in my hand like this, that just feels super secure, unlike having my phone like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the usability and the security of it in my hand, super simple. This morning, early in the morning, I was out, or before midnight, I was out taking pictures for a comparison, and it was so much easier to handle the Z Flip in that type of situation in the dark than it was my Google Pixel 5a.
Right. Remind me to get to Michael Peppertech's comment, but I got T's first. I got T's comment first, and we got to tackle this. But remind me to get to Michael Peppertech's comment.
No, go ahead and get to it. That's fine. I pretty much answered that.
T's comment is, because there's going to be a lot of comments on this, but T's comment is, he said he doesn't know why people are saying the flip exists. Well, the flip exists because it's the more realistic flip phone for today. It's a regular smartphone that folds in half. So I'm with him on that. Like, I don't understand why a person would say, why does it exist? Those are those Fold 3 loyalists for some reason. I don't know why it's like that. But hey, yeah.
It exists because it makes sense. And some people look at it as it's a step backwards, bringing something that was already here, unlike having the full display now, which we have. But the original flip phones, they brought back something which they were finally they were able to innovate that split screen into a full screen. And the usability of that just makes sense. And again, the security of having a smaller form factor in your back pocket, in your purse, your front pocket, and just having it like this just makes more sense. Why not take something that's old school, reinvent it? And again, it's practical. It's very practical.
Yeah, it's extremely practical. This is way more realistic than walking around with that brick of a phone. Now, let's be clear here. The Z Fold3 is a great device. I bought the Z Fold2. I loved it. My phone of the year, one of my phones of the year for 2020. No secret. I bought the Z Flip3 to make sure that I could get that out of my system and make sure I wasn't missing something. So I bought them both. I know. And I didn't have any trade-ins this year. So, hey, bite the bullet. That's fine. But I did have my military and government. But still, the Hawks TV has a strong point here that Samsung just wants to get these out there. And eventually, flip phones will come down in price. People, remember the HDMI cable? Remember HDMI cables were really expensive? CDs? Everything comes down in price. Everything drops in price. This is just the nature of it. But this flip phone right here is, first of all, it's a way better option than the Motorola Flip on a bad day. It's so more redefined this time around. And there was a comment on here, I think I highlighted about quick response from the front area right here. You can reply from there, but it just tells you to open up the phone, which to me that's fine. I'm okay with that for now. An update will come through. I think an update will come through to make it to where it's going to be able to quick reply like hello, like your watch, So yeah, I just think that, and it's not to say that the Z Fold3 is a bad phone. That's not what it's about. The Z Fold3 is for someone, and I like the Z Fold3. Okay, I love it, but I just think that people are. Sometimes when people get so emotionally drawn to what they like, they automatically talk about what something they put us all in a bucket together, which leads me to the next conversation. And I know this is going to be controversial because it's battery life. So many people are saying that the battery life is trash on this phone right here. I'm shocked. How do we measure battery life as a whole? We can't measure battery life together on a device unless we know it's a device that has like a 7,000 milliamp, 6,000 milliamp, 5,000 and above, you probably are going to have a neutral across the board type of battery life between users, which means that everyone's going to be saying that the battery is pretty much great. Well, with this device, I'm getting just over a full day, but no more than 5 hours of screen on time. I think that's great. Some people told me that was horrible. I don't know how that's, what do you think? I think the battery life is great, but we also have chargers.
Then you're gonna think my battery life's even worse because I've only gotten between 3 and 4 hours, but the device itself has pretty much gone through the day. So if it's going through the day, I'm gonna tell you something, man. If I don't like the look of seeing 20% at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, well, guess what? I got fast charging. I'll just plug it in on the way home. By the time I get home, I got another 20, 30%. Bam, I finish out my day. You guys got to learn to work with your devices and make them work for you.
You better say that again. You say that again. You need to learn to make your devices work for you. That's the problem that people have. They're trying to make their device work for somebody else.
Right. It's about you. What do you do? What don't you do? How do you utilize it to make it work for you? And when you can figure that out, you will look at battery life in a different way. You won't be comparing to others. It's nice to see the information. It's nice to see of your favorite YouTubers, but then you got to take in consideration all the different variables that go with that. And then you pretty much didn't say, okay, what can I do? And I'll tell you something, that doesn't mean you need to turn off every feature. Turn off what you're not using and you won't use, but leave on what you want to utilize. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody says, hey, take these 20 different steps to really get the best battery life, and they want you to turn off everything. Well, then you know what? You're not enjoying your device for what it is. And
Yeah.
again, you're not making
Yeah.
it work for you. You're making
Yeah.
it work for them.
Yeah.
So,
To answer this
you know,
question real quick from Keon, yeah, it does have wireless
yeah,
charging. It does have wireless charging.
yeah,
Another thing here is BJ says, it should have a bigger outer display. I mean, it's not bad now, but having a bigger one wouldn't hurt. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting a bigger front on there. I don't care. That doesn't hurt me at all. That's a good point. I mean, will they make it bigger later? Probably. They probably will. I don't mind having the display that's on there right now. It doesn't bother me at all. And I think, hey, I wouldn't mind a bigger display myself. I'm cool with it.
yeah, me too. You know me.
So comments like this, I totally get this. If you have a Z Fold 2, and I've said it before, you really don't have to run out and buy a Z Fold 3. It's no point that you win actually when you keep your device a long time and you keep it more than 2 years, 3 years. You win. You are a winner because you're doing what Anthony said earlier. You're making your device work for you, and you're not getting caught up in what's new and what's hype. And they're telling you it's got 20% faster, but that you're not buying into that. But I will say this on the flip side: if in fact a person wants to upgrade every year, I don't knock them. I don't knock them if that's what you want to do, because it's just up to you to decide that's what you want to do. If you can sell your device and make some good money, or if you got your device for $1,000 the previous year and you sell it for $950 this year, do whatever you need to do to flip your money around. But I understand and respect comments like this because you don't really need to upgrade every year. It's just not necessary.
No.
I think some of the questions you guys have, you really got to dig in there and just go find out some of these things yourself. Some of these questions are respected, but you gotta start doing your own research on some of these things, man. Battery life is about 4.5 or 4 to 5 hours screen on time for the Flip 3, but I'm never away from a charger. This is a great point because you can now I do carry more than one phone. I carry the Pixel 5a, the Surface Duo, and the Z Flip 3 at the moment. Predominantly Pixel 5a and Z Flip 3. They leave the house with me. So when you talk about battery life, I don't measure battery life by screen on time. I measure battery in the real world. I measure my battery life by how long it's off the charger and if it's there for me when I need it. So when I open it up to use it or when I turn it on to use it, am I going to be able to get done what I need done? Then I close it because I make phone calls on my. I make phone calls. It's a phone, so
right.
I don't do too much internet and too much viewing on my phone. That's what TVs are for, and laptops and computers. That's what that stuff is for. That's the way I see it. But I understand that. I think this is pretty decent battery for this phone, judging by the battery size, and it looks like people are averaging about 4 to 6 hours, maybe 6 hours. 6 is pushing it, but people are averaging 4 hours to 5.5, 6 hours screen on time with the Z Flip 3. And I think that's really good battery considering lots of these people are going over a day in standby. So that's great.
Yeah. No, I think that the screen on time SOT, I think it's very misleading. I think you're 100% on the fact that once you unplug and go through your day and you can get through the next day and you got like 20 something hours off the charger and you only got 2 hours, 3 hours screen on time, well, that screen on time doesn't make any sense anymore because it's been off the charger for 20 hours. You can still get to it and do what you need to do, like you said, without having to worry about it. So I think for too many, well, since I've been a YouTuber, I've concentrated way more on that screen on time than I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going to throw the screenshots up. I'm still going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to point a little more. I think I'm going to point the little arrow to how long it's been off the charger or so the screen on time.
Yeah, people, shout out to Grant S, by the way. Enjoy your lunch, man. Battery is such a controversial conversation for the silliest reasons. I don't understand why we all get grouped together on our battery life. Like you gotta understand that battery life solely depends on the person in most cases. But there are people out there that have said that the Pixel 5a had poor battery. I'm like, come on, there's absolutely on one of my worst days, I still got over a full day with like 6.5 hours of screen on time. On one of my worst days, this phone goes for days. So you got those trolls out there that just try to add fuel to the fire, but just to get the conversation going. But I see a comment from Mike. I want to put his up next, Tech King Mike. But the Hawks TV says she's able to go through a full day and she doesn't turn off anything. Yeah, me either. I have tons of notifications coming in. And I too like the design of this one better. I like it. And but I do respect that other person's comment about quick reply. Because I don't really touch on that in my upcoming video that I worked on this morning, but I kind of touch on the fact that you can hit that reply there, and it's like a smartwatch. I treat this like a smartwatch that I don't have to wear. I can go over and view all my stuff here without it. And if I want to mess with it, I can mess with it. If not, but I do like the design. How do you like the design compared to last? You didn't buy last year. You didn't buy any of the other ones.
No, but I've looked at it and I've had it in my hand at the store. I will tell you, I love this window. That is so cool in comparison to the Fold 2 or the Flip 2, I should say. No, I'm totally digging it. I will tell you this though, which surprised me and my wife. The day she got a phone call and you can answer or decline right on the window.
Yeah.
She took the call and she didn't even have to open it to speak and hear.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of advantages to that outer display. It's an upgrade from the previous generations. I bought the original one, like I said. So buying the original one, I wanted to get the second gen, but the Z Fold 2 at that time did it for me. I love the Z Fold 2. I just feel like, this one is the hardware on this one is so much better. But Mike, Techie Mike in the house, he said on his Fold, he's getting about 4.5 or 4 to 5 hours screen on time. But again, I think I saw Technically T post this somewhere where he said pretty much the batteries are getting, while people are complaining about the Z Flip3's battery.
We just lost Jay.
The Z Fold owners are getting the same type of battery. And I'm glad Mike put this up here. Not to say that his comment is going to validate everyone's battery, but this is what I've been seeing. Big House, what's going on? I see. This is what I've been seeing. So I think it's just a matter of, unfortunately, like our world, we're programmed to pick a side instead of working together. Unfortunately, that's how the world is. Democrat, Republican, they want you to pick a side and so we can continue to maintain profitability throughout this thing. But I personally think, now my Z Fold 3 battery life was about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. It's about 4.5 hours. It's the same as the Z Flip 3, and I would rather carry the smaller device. That's just me. So I see a comment down here. I want to grab down here from, let me see here. I think is this it? How long it's off the charger is a better way to measure. Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's how I measure my battery. This phone can go over a day. And Grant S, he got 2 days. He got 2 days and 5 hours of screen on time. Amazing. And so I get a day every time, at least.
So let me just, I got 2 screenshots here, battery life on my Google Pixel 5a.
Let me put you up big.
And tell me if this makes sense. So I got 8% here on this one here. And it says, I unplugged from the charger 14 hours ago, and I only got 1 hour, 3 minutes screen on time, okay? So you got that? 14 hours ago, 1 hour, 3 minutes screen on time. Let me go to this screenshot. Unplugged 17 hours ago and got 8 hours of screen on time. Does that make sense?
I mean, hey,
it's about when I unplugged.
Yeah.
It's not about the screen on time.
Right. That's just the way I like to measure it.
Those numbers.
That's the way I like to measure. I think it just means so much more. It means so much more to measure your battery life based on how long you're off the charger. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So that's the way I like to view it. Mike says this is his first foldable. This is his first official foldable that he's purchased. He did videos on the Z Fold 2. If you haven't seen those, check them out on his channel. I watched those videos. But this is the first one that he officially purchased, I think, and he plans on keeping it. He said this is first. He wouldn't mind trying the Z Flip. I just think, Mike, if you were to try the Z Flip, you probably wouldn't want to use your fold afterwards, just based on the sheer compact size of being able to tuck this away in your pocket, and you're gonna be like, whoa, this is you're getting the same battery life I'm getting. So you'll be able to put a case on. I got a rugged case on here. This video will be out soon. I got a rugged case on here and it's still compact. Totally protected. Everything's good. You'll be able to throw this in your bag, man. I think you'll love it. I think you would love it. And I think if you were to try it, you really appreciate the Z Flip. So no eSIM support on Google Fi. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody out there who's going to have some kind of, something that they feel is a problem and other people may not. And this is important. It may not be that important to some of us, but I personally like eSIMs. But, on Google Fi, not supported right now. But a software update, isn't there an eSIM in these phones? I believe there is, right?
I don't know.
Let me check real quick. Let me see if I can download it. Go on network. See if I can download the eSIM. Let's see. Network. All right. Let's see. Oh, wait. I'm over in Wi-Fi. What am I doing? Network. Network connections. Data. Man, I'm tripping. Let's see here. Data, mobile networks. I don't see any option to do it. So I guess no eSIMs in the.
I don't see it either. So
I don't see an option in there to download. So yeah, I guess not. Oh yes. So now that's another thing. That's actually one of the biggest things about poor battery life. Cell reception. You've seen me post my server. I get 500-600 down on T-Mobile now, and I'm within like a 5-mile radius of a tower that's got upgraded. So my signal is strong, and if he's having poor battery life, that's a huge factor. And it's a good thing that he knows how to point that out. Some people just don't talk about those things. Some people don't talk about it. They don't want to find a resolution. They just want to complain about it. And so the fact that he knows he's in an area that might not have the best service, that's something that we should know.
Yeah.
Let me see here. But if you unplug it and don't use it, the battery should last 3 to 4 days. Well, not entirely though, because just because you unplug and don't use your phone, there's these things called resources that are still going. So even if you're not on the phone, your battery is going to drain. But to combat that, Samsung, like most places, gives you a feature that people laugh at. Why they laugh at it, I do not know. And it's power saving modes. If they give you power saving modes, why wouldn't you use them? Why not use them?
Yeah.
Why not use your power saving modes? I've had people tell me I'm not using power saving modes. Well, why? If you're not going to be using your phone, why not?
And you think about these phones, what we have today, they're so snappy that it's okay. Like if you go into power saving modes and you limit the CPU speed to 70% right there, yes. You're not really going to tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? You're just not.
Yeah.
And so now you're still going to have a snappy experience and a smooth experience, but you're helping yourself out if you need that little bit of help. That's what those are. That, like you said, that is what that's for.
Yeah.
Utilize
that's that extra boost that you need.
We go back to what I just said earlier. Make the device work for you.
Yeah. Now comments like this are they're not. I don't mean it in a sarcastic way, but I find these funny because most people if you work in a rough work area, you're probably going to be using an OtterBox or some case like that. So this phone, like every other phone, you can buy a high impact case, and that's not even an option. It's not even an issue. I'm wearing a rugged impact case now, and I'm not in a high work zone, but if I'm working on the lawn or something like that and I bend over and it falls out of my pocket, I want it to be protected. If it hits the concrete, it'll be protected. So any phone, you can buy a rugged style case and protect your phone. And I find that when people try to use that as an argument, say, oh, it's not durable, it doesn't have an IP rating, it doesn't have this. I'm not saying this person is saying those things, but this conversation in general is hilarious to me because we all put a case on our phones. I can show you a video on skins. I can show you all these things. But in the end, when I walk out the door, I got a case on the phone, period. I'm going to protect this phone that I purchased, So it's not about, is the phone durable for rough areas? You are the one who's going to test your phone like that. You
That's
buy
right.
this phone, you buy the Fold, and you go take it out there in a rough work environment, and then you tell us if it's durable or not. I won't be testing my phone like that. I'm not going to cut the grass with my Fold in these pockets, and I know it's going to slip out without having a case on it. Yeah, no. So if people want to go out and drop their phones and do drop tests, knock yourself out. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go out and have your phone naked,
knock yourself out.
That's a choice. But
Yeah.
if you drop it, it doesn't matter if it's made out of plastic, glass, or whatever. It's something's going to happen to that phone.
Yeah.
You're better with than without, man.
Right. I'm trying to catch up on you guys' comments, man. Yeah, I got the unlocked versions too. And so this one right here, the international model of the Flip 3 supports eSIM. It's not Google Fi. It's not a Google Fi issue. Google Fi supports eSIM though. Google wants you to use an eSIM when possible. But unfortunately, with this phone, it does not have an eSIM for the US. And Google Fi is in the US. So, yeah. Catch up on.
And there's a lot of feedback in here.
Yeah, I know, because this is a conversation. The Z Flip is a conversation. You know what? We're going to go ahead and go forward, and we're going to go forward to the next device that seems to catch a lot of heat and controversy is the Pixel 5a 5G. Now, this thing about the camera shutting off, I think people literally took my previous video on this when I talked about that and ran with it. And it was a bunch of childish, I told you so, I knew it was a problem. I just find that hilarious, man. I'm reporting what's happening with the phone. I don't have a problem with this phone being able to record in 4K 60 for 5 minutes if that's the limit. Because other phones that cost $1,000, $700, they actually have a limit where it tells you you're not allowed to record more than 5 to 10 minutes. Samsung phones used to do that. You're not allowed to record for more than 5 to 10 minutes. However, this is something that popped up, and I'm sure Google knows about it now. My camera would record for about 7 to 10 minutes maybe on 4K 60, and then it would stop the camera and I have to start it again. But the other day, the previous video that I just put up was about how the camera wouldn't even start. But I totally explained in this situation. I live in an area where if it's 100 outside, it feels like 105. The phone was too hot. For some reason, the software and hardware with these devices, with the Pixel 5a 5G, is having some heating issues. But it's not like a huge drawback on the phone to where you can't use it. I totally shot a 10, 15-minute video with this, and I had no problems with it. I just put it up against the Z Flip. It didn't shut off at all, and I was outside in the same heat. But I think people take things and run with it. Is it a problem? Yes, it is an issue. Do most people use 4K 60? Absolutely not. I think they're just running with this thing just to have something to talk about. But the fact of the matter is, if you're talking about something, it's still advertisement. So all the people who waste their energy trying to trash this phone, you're still promoting the device. And there's people that have this device, they don't have any camera issues because they say, you know what? I don't even shoot in 4K 60, so I don't care, and I'm not impacted by it. But the reason I chose to put out that particular video is because I do like to shoot in 4K. So I'm impacted by it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't to put it out to trash the device again, like other people are doing, but I just think If my heat index is 112 outside, obviously, if this phone in particular, if it's already having heating issues when it's kind of cooler, it's going to have some problems. But being the person that I am, I want to be completely transparent because there's other people that might live in a high heat index as well, and they might have the same issue. But the thing I have, Anthony, is that people who are not having a problem don't seem to be reporting it. They're just focusing on, oh, that phone is now labeled to have this problem.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You know, I don't shoot 4K and 60 on a regular basis. I'm a 1080p 60 frame per second guy, and on a regular basis, if I'm shooting night videos, 1080p 30 frames per second because it seems to work better 30 frames in the evening when it's dark. I mean, how many of you have the S21 Ultra and shoot 8K video? But it's there, you know. I mean, but you know, at the end of the day, most of us don't shoot 4K video.
Right.
Just a handful of us.
Don't.
And I was in Bend, Oregon, hiking all day on one of my vacation days with my Google Pixel 5a, and I was shooting a lot of video throughout the day in 1080p 60 frames per second. I had no heating issues. I had nothing. The device worked smoothly through the whole day. It wasn't until I came home the next day that I started going through and looking at the tech news, and where I ran across this report about 4K 60 frame overheating. Right. And so I shot a few videos. I got to 5 minutes. I got to 6. I got to 4. And yeah, that came up. But all I kept telling myself was, well, you know, if that's the case, then maybe they should just put a limit on it. It just seems like a 3 minute, 5 minute, something that works.
Right. They just didn't put that limit on it like they didn't put the limit like everybody else did.
Right. Because it's only going to be a handful of people, but because the way it was thrown out there in the media, it made it sound like everybody shot 4K video in 60 frames per second.
Yep.
That news only really affects those of you who shoot, and you know what? 2-3 minutes?
Yeah, it's a small percentage of people, and those people are probably creators.
Yeah, it just it just gets too blown out of proportion. Yes, like you said, that's an issue, but how do we take care of the issue? You know, obviously it's a metal phone, metal frame. It's going to contain some heat. If you live in a hot area, it's going to gather that heat and it's going to stay warm. It's going to stay hot. So obviously, probably not a good idea to shoot 4K 60 frames per second at a 100-degree day outside.
But comments like this, I think, are so. This is such a true statement. It's so funny that what people hone in on. I've learned that people like drama. I've always said it. You've heard me say it. I need to patent it. People don't want the truth. They want to be entertained. And that's all we see current day with everything that drops out. I like to have a good conversation. Smartphoneconversations.com. That's the plug. I love to have a great conversation about something, but make sure it's some value. Like, what the heck, man? I mean, this person's comment right here. Oh, it's Deepak. What's going on, Deepak? This is so true. Professional cameras overheat. And some professional cameras can't even shoot 4K 60. That's a fact. Shout out for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Features. Yes. Yeah, you know you're going to get the features, man. You know you're going to get those features. That's just a given. Any phone can overheat. It just depends on the environment and what's going on with that device. It's just so true, man. No one shoots in 4K. I think what happened is every company, like, this is how you know you're doing something right. When anytime you post something, people hate on you instantly. You're doing something right if people instantly hate and just look for, because it's turned into hate. Now, let's be clear, there is something wrong, okay? Yeah, if Google sends a software update and limits it to 5 minutes, people are going to complain about that. But that's what they should do. They should just send out a software update and say, hey, you're now limited to 4K 60, only 5 minutes increments or 4 minute increments. HTC has been doing that for years. Sony phones overheat and they cost $1,400. Google's phone costs $450 and people are still crying about this. I just don't understand it. and you know what the bad part is? These cameras are just as good, if not better, than several other phones that are 3 to 4 times the price. Still king of cameras when it comes to still shots. Video is getting there. So gotten a lot better.
You know, I hate to go back onto the Flip 3, but now that you said about the cameras,
Yeah.
they're making such a big deal. Like, I've watched a couple videos where they said, and these cameras, they're about 2 years old, so you're not going to really get an upgrade on the cameras because they're only going to be good as they were last year. Well, guess what? Who cares? These cameras are shooting great pictures, man.
Yes. Yeah, the Z Flip cameras are fantastic. You know what's so weird? I've been using the Fold and the Z Flip to do videos on my channel. Nobody said a thing. Nobody's saying a thing. No, because I'm not telling you these are the devices I'm using. I did kind of hint in one of my videos that, or kind of let people know that I am going to start using my phones again to record certain things. But other than that, you use a mirrorless camera if you're going to be vlogging. But to record top-down shots, I don't need a mirrorless camera to do that, or one of my DSLRs, anything. You know, but I've been using these phones to record. I used the Pixel 5a, the Z Flip 3, the Fold, the Velvet. I've just been mixing it up and just making sure the lighting is the same. Batiste comment is hilarious. I had to put this up here because people are saying as soon as they get their new phone, they put it in 4K videos. That's just not true. That is a lie. I don't believe that. No consumer. I've walked up to random people in my family and try it for yourself. Say, hey, I need you to shoot me at 4K 60 real quick. They're going to look at you and be like, do what now? They don't care about that stuff. You know what I mean? They just don't care about it. They don't care about it. We're going to cover the Surface Duo too. Yes, that is correct. Appreciate the super chat. Great chat. Yes, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Long time since I did. Yeah, man. Every Tuesday, try to catch us here. We will be here. We skipped a Tuesday. We skipped, I think, one Tuesday.
I know, Cliff. Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, BG snuck up in here, man. Okay. O-Rod Tech is here. Tech Loving Mama, I see you. You didn't get past me. You didn't get past me. I see.
I saw her in there too.
Yeah. Worst part is people complaining about the 4K 60 don't even record. Yeah, that's true. That's just a fact. People just don't record in 4K 60. Creators record in 4K 60. So multitasking question on the multitasking versus the Duo versus the Fold 3, Surface Duo. The Fold 3, it's not even the Fold 3, it's just their bigger folds don't really multitask well. Let me tell you this. Listen. The Flip, to me, the Z Flip looks better with showing two things than the three things on the Z Fold 3 because this phone gives you two small displays. You know what I mean? Like, if you put like, let's just go YouTube up top, and then we're going to put the web browser on the bottom. To me, this looks great compared to this looks good right here. I just got two things going, just some things going. Okay, here's the stream. So I've got the stream up top and a web browser on the bottom. I think that looks better for like some real good multitasking than the Z Fold. I've never liked the way the Fold 2 multitasks. I'm not going to change my mind because I bought the Fold 3. It multitasks the same. The Surface Duo and a phone with two separate displays is the better way to multitask. Period. That's my take on it. Right? They're gonna come for me. Appreciate the super chat. I see another super chat in here from Sister Harris. What's going on? Yeah, Sister Harris, she don't know none of that stuff is. She don't care. Tell her to put it in 4K 60. She can be like, what? Do what now? I'm just gonna turn on the camera. That's what people are gonna do. You know, that's what they're going to do. They're going to just turn on the camera. You can walk up to a person and say, can you shoot me at 120 frames at 1080p? They're going to be like, what? Most consumers don't know what you're talking about. They have no clue and they don't care. They don't freaking care.
I think that's more of it right there. They don't care. I watch people every day at work, whether it's customers or coworkers. Randomly, you'll see this throughout my day. Somebody will pull out their phone and just take a picture.
Yes.
I guarantee you it's at default and they just take the picture.
Yes. Yes.
That is what it is.
That's all it is. That's all it is. I totally now let me ask everybody in this stream and everybody watching live at the moment, and shout out to the replay crew if you're watching too at this point in the video, because we haven't been going too long. What would you recommend to a person walking down the street? They're carrying an iPhone and SE second generation, and the father has a Samsung Galaxy S10. What would you recommend if they said we want to switch to foldable phones? Would you recommend the Fold to them or the Z Flip 3?
I would recommend the Z Flip.
Me too. Anybody else? I mean, because let me pop my case off here. The reason I recommend the Z Flip 3 is because it's the logical thing to do. Look at this is a reg. If I didn't fold this, you don't know that it folds. You see what I'm saying? If I don't fold this, it's a regular phone. Look, I got it next to my Pixel. It's a regular phone. You don't know that it folds. And then you need to put it away in a small space. Boom. And look at all the people in these comments saying Z Flip. That's genuine truth, not being coerced at all. They all say flip all day because now the follow-up to that is, why do you, Anthony and everybody in the stream, why would you recommend the Z Flip 3 over the Fold to this family walking down the street? The husband and wife says, I really got to get a foldable phone because I got to keep up with technology. Why do you recommend the Flip 3 over the Fold 3?
I just feel that the usability is a lot more practical and simpler for those stepping into that type of tech. I think that after they get used to something like that, they want a little something more, they can step up to the Fold. But I just think it's just simpler. It's just that much more practical. Again, and just the usability of it. And I think that that's where you'll find most average consumers, if you give them a chance to play with both phones, that a higher percentage will end up choosing the Flip 3, the Z Flip 3.
That's correct. That's correct. I had a comment.
Again, that's just my opinion. You know, I mean, that's just.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would look at price too.
It's thin, just like the Sony.
Yeah. Sister Harris says, I recommend it just because they don't have to go into debt. Yeah, you don't want a person to go into debt. That's the part. That's true though.
And
why
that's
would you recommend
true.
something's going to put a person into debt?
That's a great point. I think that Samsung.
Easier to this is a good one. It's easier to transition to from a regular type. Yes. These are realistic situations that people are and the thing is, this is the real world talking here. There's a lot of creators in the stream, and there's a lot of techies in the stream, but there are some real world people in the stream who don't have any of these devices, and they still look at it and say, you know what? This is what I would recommend to you. You got an iPhone SE for the wife, second generation, which is basically an iPhone 8. Then the father has an S10, Samsung S10. Of course. This is real world conversation and this is what people really will recommend. But what do you see when you go onto YouTube blogs, and what do you see in all the chats? You see people saying, fold, baby. The Z Flip is trash. That's what you see. That's what you see. You see people saying, oh, you know, the Fold 3 is just a better one. Why, though? More practical size. These are all legitimate. People, you guys are all pretty much in the same boat. Usability, more affordable, and size. All day long. Here's a good lengthy reply right here. Matthew says, if it is a family member, I would say Flip is a good entry into the foldable technology world. Basically, the form factor. It's going to be easier to transition from a regular style phone. And back to the Hawks TV's comments that she made a while back in this stream. She said, Samsung's trying to get more foldables into people's hands. This is totally true. And they're doing it the right way. They're doing it the right way. They knocked off, from the original start of their Z Flip line, they knocked off $400, I believe, $485 or whatever. I paid $14.85 or something for them. Something like that. They basically knocked off $500 from 2 years back. And they're now at a place where I think that the next iteration of the Z Flip is going to be either highly spec'd up at the same price, or they're going to start saying, check out our new A line of the Galaxy Flip, our Z Flip3A, $799. Our Z Flip3 Fan Edition, $799. The tech world is going to complain and say, oh, it's got a Snapdragon 870 in it. It's got a Snapdragon 865 in it. It's not worth $799. The rest of the world is going to say, ooh, I've always wanted this. It's $300, $400, $500 cheaper. Why not? They can bring out a bunch of different colors. There's so many ways that Samsung can get flips into people's hands. I said it. You know what's so funny? I said it, and I think several people laughed as my trash guy comes on. I said, what if Samsung brings out a $999 fold flip device or Galaxy Folder, one of them, and it costs $999 and it's got kind of lower specs on it? A lot of people said, nah, pass. If the Z Fold3 was $999 and it had an 865 or just some kind of spec down version of it, for people who want the Fold, as long as it's got the RAM to support it and it has like an 800 series processor, meaning 855 forward or 865 forward, and it's $999, you should be happy about that. That's a good buy if you want that big of a device. But the Flip, they can easily sell the Z Flip in an A series for $799. Easily, man. They can do it so quick. It'll sell so well. It'll sell so well. I mean, what do you think about something like that? A Z Flip 3A for 2022.
Well, I think this was the introduction to what's on the horizon, and that's what we're headed for. I think that's just common sense. That's not feeling or emotion. That's logic. This was the introduction to what's about to come in the next few years, and the technology of it. The steps and the progression of it is only going to get better for those of you that want to spend more. And then you'll be able to buy something like this exactly how it's spec'd, but it'll be lower price. Like you said, it may even be part of an A series. But that's exactly what it is. And I am looking.
I feel the opposite of BG Tech. Shout out to BG Tech Live. I feel like the Fold 3 is trendy and cool because nobody's buying the Fold 3 like they'll buy the Z Flip. The Z Flip is practical, logical, the smart choice. The people talk about the Z Fold 3 and they say that's a niche product. I think BG said that earlier. That's a niche product. I think the Fold 3 is the cool, trendy device when you compare the two. I think the Z Flip is a more realistic approach to a smartphone. That's how I feel. He's not wrong in his response. Shout out to BG Tech. Like, I feel just the opposite of that. I think the Fold 3 is the more trendy, cool, hip type device. You know what I mean? I think that's reversed for me. Because if you pull out a Fold 3, instantly people are going to be like, ooh, that's a tablet. That's cool. That's sweet. But you pull out this little flip phone, this little Z Flip, if you don't ever flip it, they'll never know that it can flip. They'll never know. That's just me. They'll never know. We got more topics to cover, but I know that these topics are interesting.
Well, they're very interesting. I mean, on our channels, we get a lot of techies that support, and huge shout out to the team, here on Team My Project 13. But you're also getting a lot of views from people who are the average consumer, and they want to know,
yes,
what is this? What am I possibly going to get into if I get this? And those are the people you're answering questions because they don't know. And now Samsung is finally giving them something that's been up here that is now down here, and they possibly can afford and enjoy. Yes. And that's who you're catering to in a sense. You're catering to them. And how cool is it that the average consumer is jumping in where we've already been swimming in? You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's so cool. It's so cool. And again, this is where it's going to start. Eventually, the Fold will get there too, and being what we see the Flip as right now.
Yeah. But do you think it would be beneficial for Samsung to release an A line? Or do you think they're going to actually do it at some point or another? Release an A line for the flip phones. I
I
think
don't
they
know.
will.
Yeah, I don't know. They could call it that, but I think you're going to have that category. You're going to
Yeah,
have that shelf with those devices at some point. And you know
yeah,
what? For the person who can only spend 3, maybe 4 or 5, wouldn't that be amazing to have something like, even if it's
yes,
lower spec? Because they're not going to
yes,
go, well, no, I only got 300 spent, but I only heard it only has 90 hertz, not 120. They're
yes.
not going to care about that. They're going to be
Consumers
excited.
do not focus on the internals unless we tell them about them.
Right.
Think about this just for a second. Now, I genuinely have always been into technology. My college said so. But I never, even me, I never really used to look at the internals of a device until current day. Until people made that a conversation, that is their weakest argument. Oh, it doesn't have this, so it's no good. Or it has this. Like the Snapdragon 845 devices come out, and then the Snapdragon 835 is trash. That conversation was created by the technology world, the community, and they are the ones who keep pushing that narrative. The fact of the matter is, consumers do not care what's inside. They just want it to work. Like you said earlier, make your device work for you. That is what consumers are doing. 99% of the world does not care about what's inside. We make it a conversation. We do. And I say we, I'm not going to leave myself out. We make it a conversation because I touch on these topics when I can possibly just ignore it. Yeah.
Yep.
I see another comment from Juan down here. I want to try to grab it real quick. Where did it go? It's up there, but I want to put it up here. Yeah, the tech world definitely killed for that 700 stock. But Motorola was out of line for asking for 1,700 over 1,500, whatever it was asking for. Yeah. Yeah. If the Flip lacks all the additional cameras and computer feature decks, there's really no reason to deal with the added power in the back on the battery draw from the 888. Solid point. Why? But there, Samsung. And I know exactly what he said. Samsung's going to put that in here. I think some of these companies, and I think you guys, you know it. Some of these companies do these things just to please the tech world. They do it only to please the tech world. Because why? We were talking off camera. YouTube are the new commercials. YouTube is the new TV. People shop on YouTube. People shop. They see something they want and they say, "Ooh, you know what? I got to go on YouTube and find someone's review on that." That is how people shop now. They don't think for themselves. They listen solely sometimes, not everybody, but the majority of the world flocks to YouTube to see what somebody else said instead of just buying it. Utilize your return period if you're that in question about it. You have a return period. Some of the things that people ask me about devices, listen, I can't tell you if it's going to work for you. I can only tell you how it's working for me. And that's why I always tell people you really need to view even any kind of tech review, especially headphones. You see someone reviewing earbuds, dude, listen, you better take that review as like 0.0%. How can you determine something is great by what somebody else's ears is telling you? And the same rules apply with any type of review online. You genuinely have to get it yourself. There's no other way. You can view these things as stepping stones to try to give you some groundbreaking, just trying to figure it out a little bit. But I would never base my purchase off of what somebody else said. It's just not realistic. But people do that. They do it.
Yeah.
I see a comment here.
I agree.
I want to put up. It's kind of going fast here. I think this was one of them. Processors have always felt the same in regular use. 3 to 4 years now. We should just be happy that we're at a point where we're not comparing Geekbench scores. I hate when they compare Geekbench scores. Oh my god, that was the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, that was just a stupid thing, man, to compare Geekbench scores. Let me close this real quick. I'll be right back. Turn my camera off. My dog will keep running in and out. Ugh. She will keep running in and out. But yeah, Geekbench scores was just the stupidest thing I've ever seen hit the internet, and it's just so stupid. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So they're talking about we got to move to the Surface Duo. Mine's back there in my case, but the Surface Duo 2, right? We're going to tackle the Pixel 6 as well. Let's tackle the Pixel 6.
Let's tackle that because I got like 15, 18 minutes. So
okay, cool. We'll tackle the Pixel 6 release date. Who here has heard the rumor of the rumored release date for the Pixel 6? Drop it in the chat. I've heard the rumored release date, and then I want to get that piggyback that conversation because I'm tired of people talking about this other company and how no one should do anything around their releases. Has anybody heard the rumored release date of the Pixel 6?
You want me to say it?
Now I want to see if anybody in the chat. I know you. Oh, I didn't know if you heard it or not, but I want to see if anybody in the chat has actually been keeping up with that. Because that conversation alone is just the stupidest conversation that people could have. And I'm so tired of people saying that if you better not release around this date. So what's the date that you heard?
September 13th.
The same time around Apple's date. But the fact of the matter is, listen, oh boy, it just burns me up that people think that just because, okay, Apple's phone is going to come out and we already know what it's going to be. It's going to be just like the previous year. It's going to be 20% faster here, 5% faster here. Oh, we got this added here. We shrunk this down here. Listen, Apple's sales predominantly come from people who already have iPhones. They're not like blowing all these people out of the water. But people who like Apple products, my goodness, I mean, I like Apple products, but my gosh, iPhones are not the best. People can launch phones around other phones. Why don't you want competition? Like, what is the big deal with that? Someone rumored that it's going to launch the same time as Apple's event or around that same week, and Google sales will fail. In my humble opinion, I'm going to make my comment on that right now. Google sales will not fail because they actually brought some innovation this time. Apple is not going to. Unless Apple's going to say one more thing, here's our folding phone. Other than that, my opinion is Apple's not getting ready to wow anybody. You got to ask yourself, when's the last time Apple wowed you? Just consider that for just a moment. When's the last time Apple wowed you? Probably iPad Pro for me. When I was kind of wowed, but they're still not taking advantage of what they could take advantage on the iPads. No, none? You can't think of the last time you've been wowed, Anthony?
I mean, outside of I don't know. I did like the design of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but outside of that, I mean, you know what? It was just
iPhone 11. They're rolling in on the comments. Go ahead.
Okay. I was wowed by the widgets.
I mean, yeah. I mean, iPad was when I was wowed. I was wowed for the iPad. But when's the last time Apple actually wowed you with one of their phones?
And I don't even think that was a reason to be wowed.
All about is sales numbers and it's 20% faster here and it's 20%. Google is not going to fail in sales based on if they were to launch it at the same time as Apple. And you know what's so funny? Even OnePlus stole some thunder from Samsung. Remember when everybody thought they was going to release a folding phone? Remember? It was just two phones stuck together. They stole a little bit of thunder. They did. Everybody's like, oh, snap. We hate you, OnePlus, but whoa, you bring out a folded phone, we might love you again. Anybody can steal anyone's thunder. Apple is not immune to someone getting better sales than them. And really, all we think about is the U.S. Is Apple the number one phones being produced all over the world? No, they're not. I'm sure you guys know that already, but they're not blowing everybody out in sales. And I personally don't even care about sales because unless you have some Apple stock, what do you care? I mean, why promote? And even you got stock in all these other companies. I don't see people running around promoting them like that. I don't think Google sales will actually drop any less if they bring it out around the iPhone time. That's not going to happen probably. But if they did, they actually brought a fantastic new device. They brought something completely different. Is what they brought. I've never seen the iPhone 13, but if I'm being honest,
completely different.
We all have. If you're a creator, you probably already have your iPhone 13 content. Like you have your stuff, your cases, you have all your screen protectors. So you probably have all these things. You're just not going to show them yet. You'll show them closer to launch. But if you're a creator, you might already have your iPhone 13 things. Most creators probably have them already. And so you can already see what the form factor is going to be, the screen protectors look like, all of these things. You're not like, ooh, I'm sure you're not. No one probably is. And I just feel like if Google were to release this device at the same time as Apple, they probably would steal Apple's thunder because the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro are so eclectic. They're different right now than anything on the market. They're right over there doing a Xiaomi thing. They're doing those fancy designs like that. Huawei, they're doing crazy designs like that, which are way more appealing, and they got their new chip. Everybody's waiting for the new chip. Everybody's waiting for the new chip. Everybody is. We're all waiting for that new chip from Google because we know they're going to bring it. We know they are.
I'm excited.
I think everybody is. The Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro are going to sell. Not that I care about sales, but I just know they're going to do better than any other Pixel probably has that they've released. I guess that's the way to look at it. Yeah. Look at Malik. He said, I'll be wild if they switch to Type-C and they won't. Because they have so many patents out there. They have so many patents on the lightning cable, and they're making so much money off a third party. It's ridiculous. The day that they stop using lightning cables on their phones, it's going to pour down raining for 6 weeks straight. If you had a choice, what would you go with? Pixel 6 or Surface Duo 2? Those are two different kinds of devices. So I would have both of those. I'm gonna have both of those more than likely. So I don't know if you say something like Pixel 6 and then Pixel 5a or something. I don't know, something like that. But the Pixel 6 and the Surface Duo 2 are completely different categories of phones and devices. So yeah. Phones of the year between the Pixel 6 Pro and Z Flip. And see how easy it is to put that into play. The Pixel 6, Google is finally, people said, oh, this design is boring. Now they are bringing the thunder with their new design. You can't tell me you didn't look at the Pixel 6 Pro and was like, oh my God, finally, something different. I think everybody did. Whether you wanted to hate it or not, I think you looked at the Pixel 6 design and said, you know what? This reminds me of the Nexus 6P. It's got that wow factor like that, you know? Juan says, Pixel 6 got me little for some fun competition. Yeah, I mean, competition is what people are afraid of, I think, nowadays. I think people are afraid of competition. They are. They're afraid of it. I look at a lot of the creation and I'll call it creation. I look at a lot of the creation online, and very seldom do I see some creators doing comparisons of devices. And sometimes it'll be a blind camera test. You don't want to crap all over something that the world loves. I guess, man. I guess it'll be easy as long as Google brings it with their chip and the performance is at least what it is right now compared to other devices. They win. They win on hardware alone. They win on hardware alone, man. They win because they're doing something different. They're doing something different. All you have to do is create your own lane, and you win most of the time. Like, let's give some credit. Where Apple brought out the M1 chip, I mean, They were already okay. So to be fair, we know that they were pretty much already doing that in their phones, and they just started doing it in their computers. But look at it though, the M1 chip is a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse device. You can knock out your edits on that thing like nothing. And the device I'm using right now is very powerful. It's a Windows laptop, but it's my latest purchase. But it's the new gaming laptop from what's the name? So this is 16 gigs of RAM, terabyte SSD. It's loaded up. It's a powerful device. I got the highest processor from Intel in here. I got the new graphics card. But people aren't talking about that. They're talking about the M1 chip. And this costs less than any MacBook. I got more features, if I wanted a laptop. But Apple, that M1 chip is powerful. It's innovation, Listen, competition means more work. Truth. You got to get out of here, Anthony? I got to let the dog out.
Yeah, I'm going to get out now.
Let everybody know who you are.
Well, if you didn't know by now, hey, thanks everybody for coming on by and supporting Tuesday's stream with me and Jay. I really missed it the last couple of weeks. I had a great time on my vacation, but it's good to be back. It's good to be just, for me, I just like jumping in and being able to answer once in a while, and I do that. I love reading all of this feedback is what I get into. And I just appreciate Jay having me here with him on Tuesdays. And again, for the support. It's amazing. I learned so much outside of what I already know. And it's just a great time. So thank you. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's at Anthony131368, and here on YouTube. Outside of that, I don't have much social media going on. So until next week, God bless you all. Stay safe and healthy. Peace. I am out.
All right. Get out of here, Anthony. I'm booting you.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right. So I want to set the stage for next week's live stream. I do want to have some different people on. So at the beginning of this live stream, if you haven't caught it, at the beginning of this live stream, I did say I knew a few people I probably would want to stream with. Anthony said he would love to stream with Juan Bagnell. He's never streamed with Juan Bagnell. He said that would be exciting. He will be honored to be on the stream with Juan Bagnell. Shout out to Juan Bagneezy. He's in here. And I'd like to be on a stream with Drew Lips. I think Drew Lips is a cool, neutral reviewer, or his presence on YouTube. And Michael Peppertag, we'll have to set that up and get all of us on here at one point or another. Tech Loving Mama, you are always welcome here. You don't want to be with me on a stream anymore for some reason, but, you still said you would come back. I'll call you. No. So this is your man, Jay, man. Tuesday, I'm going to go and let the dog out. I don't know why I keep taking these glasses off because all that becomes blurry. Man, hey, what's going on, Joseph? I see you, man. I appreciate everybody stopping through. I'm going to cut here so I can get out. It's been over an hour now. Next Tuesday, we will cover more stuff. We'll cover more stuff on the Surface Duo 2. And I just think it's going to be exciting. And so there's some other news. If you're in the content creation world, you already know what we're going to talk about next week. So we'll let this week play out. So we'll have something to talk about next Tuesday. But I've already been working on some more content for the Z Flip3, the Z Fold3, the Pixel 5a 5G, and some other devices that I can't really talk about, but you will see those. Follow me on Amazon Live, folks. If you're not following me on Amazon Live, I'm live. Believe it or not, I'm live probably more on Amazon. I've been live like 3 or 4 times already on Amazon Live. So follow me on Amazon Live where I get more deep dive into like this case you see here. I've already discussed it on Amazon Live. This is Z Flip, new sandstone case from VRS. I've gone in detail over there on Amazon Live. So if you're not following me on Amazon Live, hit my social media or hit my community tab, or just let me put it in here real fast. Let me see if I can find my Amazon Live, if I can find one of the old ones. And you can follow me on Amazon Live because I go deep dive. I dive deeper into the contents of the products that I review on the channel and give you a little bit more. So here it is right here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. Here's a previous live stream. So you can actually follow me on Amazon Live. by clicking that particular link right there, and it'll take you to one of my previous, yes, Tech Lover Mama, I know you are. You can follow me there on Amazon Live. I'm literally on Amazon Live. I'm starting to boost that even more. So every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time is where we are right here. So it's been great. It was another great day hanging with you guys, man. You guys better get back to work. If you're not, if you got me over to the side, I appreciate you doing that. And we're gonna keep this thing moving. So remember next week, if things transpire the way I think they're gonna go this week, this coming week, next Tuesday should be pretty fun. But I will link up with some people offline about streaming and stuff like that. But nonetheless, God bless you guys, man. And I'm gonna play this long outro in the graphics that I always play, and it's coming up right now. Take care.